Profession Moxie in Midnight. What is it? Why is it useful? Where do we get it from? How do we farm it? That is what we're looking at today. This is going to change professions so much in Midnight. I absolutely love this. We will get to why soon. Artisan's Acuity is gone, replaced by Moxy, which is tied to your profession. So we have Blacksmithing Moxy, Enchanting Moxy, etc, etc. And it's used for loads of stuff within our professions. If you want to be able to use Moxy on a profession, then you have to earn it with that profession. That's the biggest change. And it being a currency is a nice quality of life change as well. The first thing you may notice pretty quickly is that the starting quest in Midnight does not give you any Moxy, like it did for Artisan's Acuity in the War Within. That sounds kinda sucky, but we do have a replacement. In the War Within, Profession Treasures did not give any Artisan's Acuity, but in Midnight, they are giving you 15 Moxy each, or 120 Moxy in total for each profession. Now that's not quite the same amount as we got from the Crafter's Wanted quest, even if you account for having 2 professions, but it is fairly close. This actually means you're significantly less handicapped by switching professions later in the expansion, because you still have the Moxy from the Profession Treasures available to you from the new profession. Previously, in the War Within, it'd be really hard to get a new profession going once that initial Acuity from the crafting bag was gone. That combined with the killing off of the Profession Shuffle, I imagine will make for a generally better player experience. So you've already had a couple of good things that this change has done, but now for the thing that really changes this to God tier for me. In the War Within, you could not really run double crafting professions on any character, as you would burn through all the Acuity on the main profession, and then the second profession would just be trash. That is completely gone in Midnight. There is no longer a significant advantage doing 1 crafting profession on a character versus doing 2 crafting professions on the same character, because there is no shared Acuity. Once again, a really good change for anyone wanting to do anything crafting with professions. So how are we getting Moxy then? Now, by far the biggest long-term source of Profession Moxy is knowledge points. Whenever we gain a knowledge point, we also get 5 Profession Moxy. This is key, but we have exceptions. In the War Within, we had profession books that gave us 10 knowledge points, and when we used these, they gave us Artisan's Acuity back as we gain knowledge. This is gone in Midnight. Whenever you use a profession knowledge book to gain knowledge, you do not get Profession Moxy back from it, just to warn you up front. And to be fair, that did feel kind of weird. The biggest sources of Moxy then, Profession Treasures we talked about, but first time crafts. Every time you do a first time craft, you get a knowledge point, so that should be 5 Moxy, right? Well, that's not exactly how it works. With first time crafts, there is a variance in the amount of Moxy you get rewarded for the first time crafts. Something basic like uncommon profession gear. As a first time craft, that's going to give you 5 Moxy. Rare crafted gear often gives you between 5 and 10 Moxy. And when you're crafting epics, like I'm doing with this profession gear here, you can get 15 Moxy. So yes, you seem to get 5 Moxy per first time craft, but with bonuses for more difficult crafts, and that seems a fair enough system to me. For gathering professions, the first time you harvest any unique node type, you get knowledge. In my mining and herbalism guides, I implore you to farm all the first time gathers in every zone before settling down to farm properly, and that's because there's, I think, 30 knowledge points with herbalism and a few less when mining to grab. That is insanely huge, but there's also a ton of Profession Moxy from that as well. Farm all the light fused nodes for herbalism and mining in Eversong, then move on to Zul'Aman and do the same for the wild nodes, then onto Harandir for the primal nodes, and finally the void nodes in Voidstorm. It gives a massive initial burst of knowledge and therefore a massive burst of Moxy for your profession as well. The biggest long-term source of Moxy for crafting professions is Patron orders. You want to keep an eye out for the Patron orders that reward glimmers of profession knowledge in particular. Each one gives 2 knowledge, which means each one gives 10 Moxy. Not only do we get Moxy from our knowledge from Patron orders, but we also get Patron orders that reward Moxy directly as a reward. This can seem to give you quite a chunk as a reward as well. These are well worth looking out for if you need some more Profession Moxy. Gathering professions, so mining, herbalism and skinning, get weekly knowledge drops. Just like last expansion, 5 blue weekly drops worth 1 knowledge each, and an epic one worth a bit more. And since every 1 knowledge is 5 Moxy, that's a real steady weekly Moxy pipeline. Best part is you're literally just doing your profession normally and the drops happen over time. Enchanting has exactly the same structure as last expansion as well. You get 5 rare drops, 1 epic drop every week from disenchanting, and these reward knowledge. This is just really easy profession knowledge and Moxy. Every profession trainer gives a weekly quest, completing it grants knowledge points and Moxy. For crafting professions, it will usually ask you to complete some crafting orders. Patron orders count. We'll be doing these anyway, so that's easy. Just remember to pick up the quest. Gathering professions and enchanting, simply handing materials. These are quick, easy, and always worth doing, even if the material prices may hurt a bit at the start of the expansion. All crafting professions, including enchanting, can get 2 weekly treasures. At this point, it kind of seems that enchanting just gets to pick and choose whether it's a crafting or gathering profession, depending on what's best for it for whatever we're talking about. Just like last expansion, we can get 2 weekly profession treasures just from farming treasures out in the world, but this has been buffed in 2 ways. Firstly, we seem to get consistent 2 knowledge points and therefore 10 Moxie from these across all professions that can get them. Some professions really got screwed with only getting 1 last expansion, and these seem so much easier to farm this time as well. The drop rate seems so much higher than last expansion, both great changes. And just like in previous expansions, you can get an inscription character to craft you a treatise. This is a consumable that gives you 1 knowledge point per week. So that's 5 Moxie per week per character per profession. That's Moxie and how to get it in Midnight. Now, if you want lots of free Midnight profession guides, I have over 20 written gold guides on the Discord, crafting, farming routes, all that good stuff. Link is in the description below. If this video was helpful, then please leave it a like and let me know what you think of the changes that we talked about in this video in the comments below.